Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie, jestem Kark, to Starfield. No i kontynuujemy tutaj nasz wątek. Właśnie zostaliśmy obywatelami pierwszej kategorii. No i co nam się tu jakieś nowe zadanie poboczne odpaliło? Rozmawiać z Andreą. Tylko pamiętaj, że jestem żonaty z Sarą, także wiesz, nie kombinuj zbyt dużo. Dobra, pogadajmy.
It's a relief to know that the terramorphs are being dealt with. I wanted to tell you that I think you made the right decision. The microbes will ensure this is not a problem for much longer. Agreed. There's no point in risking further lives to deal with them. I only hope that using these microbes does not create more unforeseen problems later on.
Też się boję. No i co ty wybrać?
I admire your confidence, and I do hope you are right. I will say, though, that I am glad you convinced them to destroy the Lazarus plant. Yes, I agree that it is for the best. Well, it is good to know that this particular threat is behind us, and you have done a service to all who live in the settled systems. If you are free soon, could we talk?
No dobra, pomówmy.
It has been a relief to be honest with you about my past. I appreciate your willingness to listen, but talking about this, remembering all those years,
Kurczę, ty mi tu nie cukruj.
brought back some unsettling memories. Thank you. That means a great deal to me. I have told you that I spent many years coordinating with smugglers along the edges of the settled systems. There were men and women I worked alongside closely. And over time, I established relationships. They were not of the promised, but I considered them friends. It describes the people of House Varun. We who have been promised to serve the Great Serpent now and forever. In exchange, he promises to care for us when he returns to his domain. Yes, I have found that to be true. It was, and is, still a surprise. You must understand. I was raised to believe that those who do not follow the Great Serpent do not matter, for they are lost. Their fate is fixed and grim.
Co to za sekta
Yet
była?
here
Kurwa.
were these men and women with hopes and dreams, delights and aversions. It felt like a small betrayal of my people, of House Varun, but I cared for my friends. And then I lost them. It was, in ways I did not understand at the time, and so it has bothered me ever since. It was so sudden. We had met on a remote planet to transfer cargo. And zealots appeared in force, seemingly out of nowhere. There was barely time to react. So many were cut down immediately. I believe my years of training saved me, got me moving when others faltered. I retreated to my ship immediately. But I left them all behind. Aaron Bascom and Jada Wong. They were my friends, and I abandoned them. And in the years since, I have never looked for them. No, maybe. I don't know. It all happened so fast, and I've had so much time since then to replay it in my head. Wonder if I should have done things
Ciężko rozmowa.
In my time getting to know you, I have thought more and more of all this. How little sense it all made, how I never really knew what happened or what became of my friends. My connection to you has reminded me what it means to trust someone, to be there for them. And I can no longer live with not knowing. I need to finally pursue this. I would like you with me when I do. I do not know what we will find, but I know it will be easier with you at my side. I am not sure I will find any comfort in it, but I think it is important nonetheless. I am not sure where they might be now, but I believe we should begin the search in Aquila City. That is where I last saw Aaron Bascom.
Ale nie. My... No wszystko po kolei. No, a gdzie są? Chwila, moment, ja tutaj najpierw musimy zobaczyć nasze dobra. Chwila, moment. My tu musimy... Wszystko fajnie, ale my tu jeszcze idziemy pogadać. Tu gdzieś ma być nasza kasiora.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
Sierżant Yumi.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. It's a high honor. Have to do something big for the colonies to earn that sort of designation. Only ever met a couple myself, and certainly never given one orders. You should be real proud. Luckily, I'm one step ahead of you. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Just out the front door and across the plaza, by the embassies. Look for the Aphelion sign. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you?
Łocie, panie, się narobiło znowu misji.
Sure. He'll have all the specifics. If you find yourself looking for more work, you know where to find me.
Spoko. To idziemy teraz. Co to mi się tam pokazuje? Porozmawiaj z Sarą, a Sara jest tam gdzieś na dole? Co tam robi Sara? A nie, to pokazuje do tego... Okej. Dobra, to idziemy jeszcze po nasz klucz do penthouse'u, nie? Na drugiej stronie placu. Gdzie to tam jest przy tych ambasadach?
Diplomacy would never.
Ancient teachers of this science said he promised.
Tu nie. Tu są jakieś archiwa. Tu co jest? Taki romantyczny placyk, tak? Super, Andrea, nie? Dziocha, ty mnie tu wabisz. Tu. Co tu jest? Ambasady jakieś?
I cannot help but notice that the Colony War Memorial is in direct line of sight of this embassy. I suspect that was very much intentional.
Kurczę, jak ona się nazywała? Gdzie jest sierżant Yumi? Po drugiej stronie placu?
Ah, yes. They build a monument to the people they lost, but not the people they killed.
To become part of the most advanced technology corporation in the settled systems.
Trying to put them on terrible.
Na pewno dobrze idą. Aha, to nie... Chwilunia, bo ja już się pogubił. Kurka. Kurka, kurka. To chyba nie był Yumi. Albo Yumi. Kurka. Dobra, spróbujmy no pogadać z tym sierżantem, bo ja już nie wiem teraz sam. Port kosmiczny. Chwila, moment. Coś mi tu nie ten teges. Albo to ona była. Kurde, ale się tego nazbierało. Dobra, a co będzie teraz? Gdzie? Też tu. Kurde, szkoda, że tu nie ma gdzieś tych dialogów opisanych.
Sounds like a bad idea to me.
Powiem szczerze, że nie wiem teraz.
I think I want to join this. Start a homestead.
What does your scanner reveal?
Jakiś budynek.
Something better soon.
Połóż. Przedsiębiorczyni. Kurka wodna. Do kogo ja się miał zgłosić? Kurde, tu trzeba będzie zacząć robić te misje poboczne, bo kurde, to będzie masakra tu. No kurde, chciałem zobaczyć jak tu... Dobra, ale może pociągnie kilka tych wątków, może samo wylezie. Dobra. Co to jest? To gdzie mnie to ciągnie teraz? Rozmawiaj.
I'm sorry. Heat leeches can turn into what?
Theramorphs. Giant carapace.
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
I'll watch. No heat leech.
Dobra, z nimi wszystkimi mamy pogadać.
Alright. Yeah.
To najpierw Sara.
You need. You got it.
Jasne. A ty wiesz, że ona mnie próbuje zwabić? Bo zaraz obie zostawię. Ło, panie, a to my gdzieś lecimy? Nie, no to inaczej. To... Sara. Najpierw Sara.
Sorry to pull you aside like this, but I wanted to take a moment to congratulate you. Taking those steps to eradicate the Terramorph threat is essential to the safety of every living thing in the settled systems. You should be proud.
No super, super.
Okay, it's called space. Space is cold and dark. Starships fly there like... Indeed. Leaving that problem unchecked could have made the situation go from bad to worse. Well, I'm relieved that the United Colonies agreed to use their genetically engineered microbe to exterminate the Terramorphs. Apparently, their decision was based on your recommendation. That was a smart choice you've made. A solid scientific decision. Against it. Not at all. I follow the science. If Chief Engineer Kulkarni believes that the microbe will be effective, then we have to trust her experience.
Okay.
Good, good. I wouldn't want you to think it was some kind of mistake. Your decision, coupled with the eradication of the Lazarus plant, has made the settled systems a safer place to live for years to come. Oh, yes. Without pause. It was another inspired decision. A rock-solid, scorched earth policy to ensure the end to those horrible creatures. It's my pleasure. Well, I suppose I've taken up enough of your valuable time. Back to it. I'm here for you, my love. Yes, have a look.
Ty mi fajne prezenty dajesz.
I miss talking to you already.
Super, Sara. Pokażę ci naszą nową willę niedługo. Zarąbista. Sąko.
The whole Terramorph situation, seriously, hats off to you. When I was growing up, everyone was afraid of Terramorphs. How they could seemingly strike anywhere at any time. The carnage, the destruction. The stuff you've done here could save so many lives. Hey, it's me. If you can't brag a little to your friends, who can you brag to? I know using the microbes to kill the Terramorphs may be controversial, but for what it's worth, I think you made the right call. 100%. We just can't take any chances with those damn Terramorphs. Well, if there are, then we'll deal with it together. The United Colonies. Hell, everyone and everywhere owes you big time. Even if they don't know it.
Spoko.
I hope Cora doesn't get too much underfoot. But of course, enjoy. Guess we're
Something
done.
on your mind? I trust you are well. Yes, please. House Varun is in a distant corner of space, far away from the rest of the settled systems.
Co
While this
ciekawe
serves
dialogi.
interests, it can also pose challenges. Many critical resources are scarce, and diplomatic relations with the United Colonies and Freestar Collective were tense at the best of times. It was the most practical way to acquire what we need, without raising too many questions. Still is.
Mhm.
I do not know, not for sure. I did not see them fall that day, and I suppose I have hoped they survived. I admit I
Okay.
have not investigated before now, at least in part because of what I feared I might learn.
Okej.
He is a quiet man, reserved. I believe he had lived through a great many hardships, though he never spoke of them. I never felt it proper to ask. He valued his personal space and quiet moments. It was one thing we always shared in common. Years ago, I had heard he was alive, but did not attempt to contact him. I did not feel it was right. I hope this is not a mistake.
Dobra, okej.
Very well. Indeed I do. All yours.
No, ty dajesz konkretne prezenty.
Some other time then.
Okej, jeszcze ktoś?
Is there a way to go fast? Your ship is way bigger than Dad's.
Dobra, tu już wszystko wiemy. No dobra, to co? To tu nam spadło kilka tych. Szkoda, że tu nie ma opisu, bo kurde, nie pamiętam teraz, o co tu chodziło, z czym. A zobaczmy to. Gdzie mnie to tu prowadzi?
The city certainly projects a powerful image for the United Colonies, eh?
Kurczę. Nie wiem, sierżant Yumi ma mi dać? Mnie w pace niedawno zamknął, wiesz o tym? Yumi.
Ah, if it isn't my favorite part-time security officer. Crime has slowed down since you started helping out, which is good for morale. The whole department is in the process of recovering, myself included. If I'm being honest, I still have nightmares of my team turning on one another. Things can be replaced and wounds can be healed, but building back that trust in each other is going to take time. Luckily, we've built a good culture here, and we hired some new recruits who were inspired by what you did. I've got faith we'll survive this.
Dobra.
See you later.
To on mi tu znowu chce jakieś zadanie wciśnie. Ja pierdzielę.
That business with the Terramorph. I do. Thanks to you, the spaceport is up and running again, which is good for commerce, but also for smugglers. We've received a tip that someone has been bringing in contraband into New Atlantis through the spaceport, and we need to investigate. Well, technology-wise, criminals have always been one step ahead. No different now than it was centuries ago. Smugglers often have a fancy shielding or scan jammers that allow them to evade the checks. But luckily, we can still use old-fashioned detective work to track these criminals down.
No nie.
No problem, Captain. I'll be here when your schedule clears.
No dobra, czyli to nie to. Nie, Andrea. To nie ten zawodnik. No i tu jest trochę, nie? No i tu już nie ma za dużo. Okej. A to gdzie? Z Parcivalem. Czyli też gdzieś trzeba lecieć. Ciekawy. Ten robocik. No dobra, to też nie. No gdzie? Kurde. Kurczę, no nie wiem. No, będę musiał chyba sobie wczytać tego Saveya i przeczytać, gdzie to jest, ale to może zrobię to poza tym, bo nie wiem gdzie. Dobra, zróbmy tu może to, co tu było. Może to. Skoro już tu jesteśmy, nie? Gdzie jest loża? Andrea, gdzie jest loża?
Do you see anything useful?
Kurde, tu się nie da tak. A, wyżej. Tu jest loża. Dawaj, do loży. Okej.
I may not quite enjoy New Atlantis, but this... this is much better.
A co ty tu robisz? Czemu ty nie jesteś na stanowisku? Chwila, moment. Wasko, brak przydziału? Tu mi wracaj. Andrea, brak przydziału? O co tu chodzi? Statek. Wielbiciel jest placówka. Czyli tak, statek. Andrea, Sam i Sara i Vasco. No dobrze. No. Dobra, Lin i Heller, geologia, wysadzanie. Trening siłowy. Okej, wielbiciel, niech se tam lata. No, teraz pasi. I pamiętaj, Wasku. Dobra, idziemy tam. Znowu śpi? Ja cię kręcę, chłopie, ty może zdrowie. Chcesz ze mną porozmawiać?
Oh no. You have any idea how much of my time gets wasted by people who start conversations with that line? All right, let's get it over with. What amazing situation have you discovered that I can't possibly afford to pass up? It's not poison, right? Wouldn't be the first time someone tried it. I'm kidding. I don't really think it's poison. That has happened, though. Right? Simple and definitive. I like that. If it were anyone else, I might be inclined to nod politely, express some vague enthusiasm, and suggest setting up a meeting that never happens. But I think you and I have been through enough that I'll trust you and take a chance on this. All right, here's what you're going to do. Go pay a visit to my lovely wife in Neon and tell her I said I've been thinking about rereading Jules Verne. You do that, and we'll get the necessary paperwork underway.
No. I tyle w temacie. Wiesz, mnie się przydadzą te kasiorki, a ty tam... Czym ty się tu... Po prostu butelka pigułek. Halo? No i co? Ja teraz mam zasuwać do tamtej... I z nią pogadać, tak? Super. Wszyscy śpią, czy jak? Ty jesteś podobna do tej babki tu. No. Dobra. Ciśniemy. Wasko na pokład. Dobra, tu mamy co z tym? No to może na szybciacha to zrobimy, no nie wiem, chciałem lecieć wątek główny, ale kurde, tu się tego tyle nazbierało, że sam nie wiem, co tu mądrego z tym zrobić. Dobra, przelećmy się, zróbmy przynajmniej tą jedną rzecz. Kurczę, to mam strach z kimkolwiek pogadać, bo się do kogoś człowiek odezwie i zaraz robota go czeka. Tu w neonie też coś było, nie?
Every smuggler I have ever worked with had a perverse affection for this place. I do not understand it.
Dobra, gdzie ona tam siedzi?
Ah, neon. Instant sensory overload.
Keep it moving.
I do not know about you, but I am starting to suspect that Benjamin Bayou. Clearly the intent is to get us into the Astral Lounge. Shall we follow the signs?
Dzień dobry. Zastałem Jolkę.
I'm in the middle of some quarterly earnings analysis. Excuse me.
Oh.
I'm afraid I'm always in the middle of preparing for the next board meeting. If you'll excuse me. Oh, has he now? My dear young man, what have you talked him into? And what better way than to leverage a starship builder? How very clever. Back before Walter and I married, he confessed that he had stashed away a credit stick in a copy of Around the World in 80 Days. Somewhere between a rainy day fund and a slush fund, he said he'd always had a bit of extra money set aside in case opportunities arose. I can't really fault him. They're his credits. He can do as he likes. But over the years, it's become something of a joke between us. When he wants to take a chance on something, it's his way of asking without asking if it's all right with me. I suppose it is. Sweeter when it pans out, but he does have a nose for these things. I'll draw up the appropriate paperwork for the funds. Thank you for bringing me his message.
No i okej. Co powie Sara?
Feel free to look around. Stroud Eklund is the peak of ship manufacturing design.
Co to za drzwi?
Scram, I'm on duty.
If you want to see how short my temper is, keep talking.
Dobra. Sara, jedziesz, nie jedziesz? Ale ja tu chciałem jeszcze sprawdzić jedno takie zadanie, które zostało chyba tu, że go widział. Dobra, upłynione aktywa jest ok. Ale tu było jeszcze coś z tym, z jakimś O, udaj się. Nie wiem, co tu jest. Co to było? I to trzeba sprawdzić, bo to też tu mi tu zalega przy okazji. Co tu takiego mamy? Po co ja się tu wybrałem? No i co? Tu nic nie ma. Się mogę przespać.
Come on. There are worlds to conquer.
No ale co tu jest? Łóżko. Co jest w opuszczonym kontenerze, kurka wodna? Papier toaletowy. Jakiś karton. Wyłaź stąd, karton. O, obywatelko. Ciekawe. No i co? I to koniec? To jest dziwna misja. To gdzie? Kurde, tu z tyla ludźmi rozmawiać. Co to jest? Dobra. A gdzie jest dom Waltera? Łocie, panie. do kogo strzelał?
Take them down! Class down! Do or die!
And it's over. Unknown vessel, please respond. Those Crimson Fleet goons never stood a chance. Huh. Looks like you're not worse for wear. Be careful. No guarantee the UC will be there for you next time.
Dobra, spoko. Ścielik wytłukli. Gdzie tu jest jakieś? Pozbierajmy te dobra. Ej, dobrze. Ale się udało cechę jakąś. Też fajna planeta. To ląduj.
Beginning landing cycle.
Będziemy odwiedzić ten dom.
Such beauty in the midst of nothingness.
Captain, it is pleasant to see you.
Bardzo ładnie. Co mi tu znowu wylądowało? Co, to się nie da skalować? Dobra, ale my tu jeszcze chcemy odwiedzić dom Vlada. Tu się jakaś imprezka odbywała, czy coś? Dobra, za daleko. Ja, to kurwa.
Would not wish to make too many assumptions about where the credits for all this came from, but it seems that crime does indeed pay.
Dobra. Przełączmy się, bo nie wiem, czy tu mamy coś znaleźć. To już zniknęło. No. I to zniknęło. Dobra, chodź sobie zwiedzimy tu pięterko. O, proszę, jaki tarasik. Śliczny. Podziwiasz, co dzieła sztuki z bliska, czy jak?
When my former captain died, I knew my days with the fleet were marching to the cliff's end. I was already considered an old jackalbones, scaring the new rooks on the fact that I was still alive. Grimm's laughing reminder that most of them wouldn't make it to my age. Tossing my youth away on gutting haulers for the fleet was one thing, but watching another generation doing the same, knowing where the end was for them, my mind started clocking hours on the point of it all. And that's when the beauty of the blackest sea started to catch me for the first time. Humanity's jaunt into the stars could use a friendlier meeting than gun and blade. And who could do better good out there than someone who had seen the darkest edges and lived to tip your ear to the tale?
Jakaś spróba. Coś tu jeszcze jest ciekawego. To taka salona kuchnia. To się nie zmieniło do naszych czasów dzisiaj za dużo. To co na jedzenie, to jak do ptaków takie karmiki. Okej. To co, to wszystko? No dobrze, no. Odwiedziliśmy chatę. A, tam jeszcze jest jakaś piwniczko. Nic się, panie. Na piwniczko przystało. To zawsze się przyda. Okej. Tu nic nie ma. Nic nie ma. Tu tam kichać. Tu też. Co, nie umiesz tam wleźć? Naboje, cyfrychy, tak, to zawsze wymagane. No, twórz, co tam jest? Zaawansowana bestia. Tu coś na 4. I tu mamy coś takiego, że tak i że tak. Czyli ten i ten.
Hope you can succeed at that before we are discovered.
No co, no to nas nakryje. No widzisz. Miny mi tam nie są potrzebne. Cielęcinka też nie. Tym się poczęstuje. To tam olać. No, amunicji to tu trochę jest, nie? Ale masz szafeczkę.
Perhaps all this does come at a cost. To one's peace of mind, if nothing else.
No, masz rację. No to fajną broń. Wziąć. Jak stoję z obciążeniem? Nie jest źle. Siedź, siedź, dziewczynko, siedź. Ja sobie tu jeszcze troszkę penetruję. To mi niepotrzebne. Komputer nie działa. Dobra, no co? Chyba wszystko, nie? Chodź. Dobra, to była piwniczka. Jest parę fajnych rzeczy, no jest. O, tu jeszcze mamy salon taki. Ale telewizor. O.
Memory's vault comes through on the exact time, but my career in the fleet took a turn as the UC stepped up its efforts. Not the first or last time they tried to wash the bloody tab. Caught a smile being with the crew whose captain took the challenge to play smart. If every breach and storm was a fight to the death, might as well make it for the highest stakes. And why not take the time to learn all the locks and bolts? Crack the systems that held the treasures? Learn the routes between stars that would become the best places to go. I never read so many books in my days as when I was gearing the brain for a heist. Soon enough, I found myself just reading whenever time's moments could spare.
No tak. No okej, no to chyba wszystko. Co to jest? Grzejnik, czy co to jest? O, tu bym przegapił taką niespodziankę. Sprzątaj, chodź tu, sprzątaj. No dobra, no to chyba wszystko żeśmy tu zwiedzili, nie? Czy jeszcze coś tu jest? Tu nic nie ma, tu nic nie ma, tu coś jest. Masło i bagietki. Woda. I woda. O! No, widzisz, to bym takie cuda tu opuścił. No nic, fajnie. Jak stąd się wychodzi? Trzeba skakać, czy co? Do statku? A nie, tu jest jakieś przejście. Ło, panie, co to było? Już myślałem, że muszę to rozwalić. Mnie wystraszyło. Tak, jeszcze się tu tak troszkę wokoło przebiegna. Się robi ciemno. A to nasz statek. Oj, znowu wlazłem w coś. To mi tu laserem polaseruje. No, ale tu... Jak stąd wylezę? Nie wiem, czy mi ta willa do czegoś jeszcze może być potrzebna, no ale... Chyba nie. Dobra. No to wracamy. Archimedes. Da radę takie skoki zrobić? Okej, pogadamy z nią i kończymy odcineczek. Dobra. Chodźmy do tego baru. To przez to, że ty chciałaś iść coś tu zjeść albo wypić, to takie mamy teraz. Kłopoty. Musimy po barach latać. Ale okej.
If I was rich, this whole business venture thing would be so much easier.
Dobra, dawaj.
Get some buy-in on this venture. It will really take off.
Whoa. This is really happening. Okay, I just lost the ability to think for a moment there. Hang on, give me a second. Whew, all right. That's really fantastic news. But we can't celebrate just yet. We're going to need at least one more solid investor.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm sure he could fund most of the business in New Atlantis, if he doesn't already. That's not the point. If I put this all in the hands of a single investor, whoever that is suddenly has a lot of influence. If I have at least 2 investors to start, then one person isn't pulling all the strings, if any strings have to get pulled. Have I mentioned I'm not great with metaphors? So, having Walter backing us is fantastic, but I'd feel much better if there was a third party involved. If you know anyone, now's the time to call in a favor. Very clever. You are kidding, right? You do? I mean, are you really serious about this? Look, I will gladly take your credits if it means you and I can be partners on this, but I'm not trying to guilt you into it. So before you commit, I'm going to give you one last chance to back out. Okay? Wow. Wow! This is so amazing! It's
No
you
to
and me,
dostaliśmy
and Walter.
barmanem
I'm
czy
sure
kim
it'll all
to.
work out. I'm afraid there's not much in the moment I can do to really thank you for this, but I promise you it will pay off. I've got some people to talk to, and a trip to Galbank in my future. Thank you again so much. You know, I had a guy in here last week ranting that General Shao ought to send the Marines down into the well. I'm usually all for letting folks speak their mind. Most things can't be helped after anybody
Dobre informacje.
well, it almost... Catch you later.
Co ty na to, Andrea? 10 000 żeśmy jej dali, okej. Chyba, nie? Aha, czyli misja zrobiona, tak? Dobra, ale to następne może zrobimy Kto sieje wiatr. Jeszcze dokończymy tutaj akcję wymierzenia sprawiedliwości. To są powtarzalne działania na zlecenie tego generała. No, to frakcyjne. Ja myślę, że zrobimy to. To będzie chyba koniec z tymi zadaniami. Nie wiem, czy tu jeszcze coś z tych dwóch zrobić i przejdziemy do głównego wątku. Tak myślę. Dobra, ale to tymczasem to w kolejnych odcinkach. Dzięki za oglądanie, dzięki, że jesteście. Trzymajcie się. Cześć, do kolejnego odcinka.